How's it going, ladies and Bruces? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Novena Diabolos. We have 2 days left. Let's just kick straight back into it because I think we are very close to solving this one. There's still some time left. Who should I visit? Can we visit Hana again? Is that a thing we can do? You can't. Well, glad I got Sumi on the books as well. Even though we know she's a ghost now. Okay, I should go see Sumi. The ghost. I arrive at Sumi's room. I figure she'll be in there instead of at the abandoned school. I hold my breath for a moment and listen closely, but I can't hear any sound coming from behind the door. Hey Sumi, are you in there? Even after knocking on the door, there's no answer. It seems like Sumi really isn't there. Maybe she... Yeah, that has to be it. The spot where I last encountered Sumi. Where Ginsuk's house is. I head for the abandoned village. Sumi must have gone there. I mean, that's where she always is. I arrive at the abandoned village. It's easy for me to find Jinsuk's house. I can't be sure, but perhaps that's where I'll find Sumi. I nervously make my way to Ginsuk's house while constantly having to remind my stiff legs to move. It's been a big week. Like, really. Sumi is there. Somewhat unexpectedly, to say the least. Her entire body is transparent. Jinsung Park. Your body. Upon seeing my dumbfounded expression, Sumi looks down at her own body. Judging from her reaction, she seems to be aware of the fact that she's transparent right now. Sumi, you must have a lot of questions. Sumi says what's on my mind before I can. I slowly nod. I'll answer all of them. The look in her face, as she says that, makes it seem like she's letting go of something she's held on to for a long time. Though I am puzzled by the sudden change of behaviour, I can see that this is my chance to get answers to the many questions that have accumulated so far. I look at Sumi and carefully think about my choice of words. We know how she died, and we know about Ginsuk Park. Why are you obsessed with exorcism? You were so obsessed with exorcism, how come? Especially considering, well, you know, the fact that you're dead. I find it hard to explain. It must have been some sort of deeply rooted instinct. Instinct? When a person dies, what's left is their most powerful memory before death. I'll try to explain. An otherwise good person who dies while plagued by bad thoughts and hatreds can turn into a horrible ghost, whereas a villain who is plagued by regret for all he has done in life can become a kind guardian spirit. In my case, the only thing on my mind when I died was to drive out the evil plague in our village. You've been doing this all this time without knowing why? For decades? There's no need for you to be sad or for you to pity me. That's just what death is. It's the most common way for humans to leave this world, and one day, you will experience it too. At a glance, Sumi's smile seems to be one of perfect harmony and peace. No more regrets, no more hopes. Like she doesn't want for anything anymore. But there's something else I have to ask her. Ginsuk Park? That's the name of a precious friend to you, right? Yes, a friend I swore I'd never forget. And yet I did. I never wanted to be a shaman. But when Ginsuk Park got sick, I was willing to do everything in my power to help. If I could become a shaman and find a cure for that strange disease, we would be able to spend time together, just like before. That's why I wanted to be a shaman and drive out the evil. So much so that I forgot the most important thing of all. Sumi, I didn't know that Ginsuk was dead, because I died before Ginsuk. I didn't accomplish anything. Hearing Sumi's bitter words breaks my heart. I can't fathom why two childhood friends would be made to endure such a horribly cruel fate. I look away for a moment and suppress the sadness dwelling up from within me. I'll ask her another question. You're already dead. I mean, you said you're a ghost or something, right? I mean, we can see through it. Yes, more accurately, I am earthbound. A spirit of the past who cannot yet leave this land. How did you die? I don't remember. Probably an accident. Maybe I fell while up on the mountain, or maybe I drowned. Listening to Sumi calmly theorize about the way she died is weird, making it hard for me to know how to react. Do I try to comfort her? Or should I rather keep my mouth shut? I slowly open my mouth, still unsure about what I'm actually going to say. So, you seem to be fully aware that your body is transparent, right? Oh, this? Of course, this is only natural. Only natural? I don't get it. Can you help me understand? I'm an earthbound. A spirit intrinsically tied to one place. I cannot actually have a body like this. And yet one day, this body suddenly appeared. So the body was just... there? I don't know. I guess. One day out of nowhere, I found myself in this one. A physical body born of nothing. I wonder if this is somehow connected to the ritual that I've been unwillingly become a part of, but it's too early to jump to conclusions. With the body, I suddenly felt things like hunger, sickness, and tiredness again, the same sensations as when I was alive. I was no longer used to what moving in a body felt like, so I often hurt myself without realizing it. That explains why Sumi often said that she had trouble moving, or that she felt weak. I thought she sounded like a senior citizen back then. Though in a sense, I guess it doesn't get much more senior than an actual ghost. But still, it felt great to have a body. Experiencing solid ground beneath my feet felt so amazing that I immediately tried getting out of there. But even with a body, it would seem as though I remain bound to this place. You can't leave? The thick fog always leads back to the village. I tried multiple times, but to no avail. Sumi's words make me think. I also remember wandering around in the fog. It's not because Sumi's bound here for eternity. It's because of the rules of the ritual set by the devil. However, that's not something that I can tell Sumi about right now. I thought it was because of the lingering evil. That I can't get out of here because there's something I have yet to accomplish. But the more I think about it, the less likely that seems. I was granted a chance to reclaim my forgotten memories of the past. Now that it is all concluded, it is only natural for this body to fade away into nothingness once more. So, you think all of this gave you an opportunity to make things right? Yes, but I couldn't do it. How so? I accomplished nothing. All I did was die. I couldn't save Ginsuk. I couldn't drive out the evil. There's no reason for me to stay bound to this place anymore. So I'll shed this body and forever float through the memories of when things were right. I like the thought of that. Leaving this cursed village behind is enough for me. Sumi appears to have turned slightly more transparent than before. It's as if she's about to disappear at any moment now. I have to keep talking. I tilt my head to the side and ask another question. I think about what other questions I have. There are none. Is that everything you wanted to know? If so, there's nothing more left to say. Can I ask you one last question? Yes. Do you really have no lingering feelings, regrets, doubts? You've heard it all. What more is there? I was unable to save my dearest friend. I didn't even know that Ginsuk was dead. There's nothing more in this world that matters to me. Would you like to see Ginsuk? I speak without really thinking about it first. My mouth just moves out of nowhere, saying that thought that suddenly crosses my mind out loud. Huh? I've been thinking about this. Don't you think that Ginsuk misses you too? Decades have passed, but I have no doubt that Ginsuk is definitely waiting for you somewhere. I don't know what you mean. Ginsuk is dead though. How could someone dead possibly be waiting for me? Probably at the grave. I'm still new to all this supernatural stuff, so I'm very cautious about what I say. However, it's commonly believed that the spirits of the dead linger at their gravesite. People talk to them as if they're still there, carefully trim the plants, and make food offerings. I used to shrug my shoulders at these gestures, but with everything that's been going on around here, I'd say if there's one place where Ginsuk's spirit waits, it's without a doubt at the gravesite. Even if Ginsuk's spirit turns out not to be there, shouldn't we at least take a look at the final resting place? If we don't, can you truly claim to be free of any lingering feelings? Ginsuk's family has left this place behind a long time ago. I have to believe that the burial ground is somewhere away from here. Nobody would bury their child at a cursed village responsible for so many deaths. That means Ginsuk's grave will be somewhere away from here, outside. So let's get out of here. But I cannot leave this place. There has to be a way for both of us to escape together. I promise I'll find it. I hold Sumi's transparent hand. Her hand feels tender and icy cold. I squeeze her hand a little tighter, worried at the thought of her suddenly disappearing completely. I'm a spirit, nothing physical. I can't get out of here. There's nothing you can do. You don't know anything about this. It's not true. You're clearly still here. You have a body. That makes you human in my eyes now. You're absolutely right. I don't know anything about spirits, but I know more about humans than you for obvious reasons. Wouldn't you agree? You know humans? You mean because you work with television? Yeah, right. Exactly. Working on News Trace TV program taught me a lot about humans, that's what I mean. Wow, is that so? Yeah, that's totally the case. I'll find a way out of here. We'll visit Gensok's grave together. You'll really help lead me outside? I can see Gensok again. I look at Sumi, who looks at me like she's about to cry at any moment. I tighten my grip around her hand even more. For a moment, I can suddenly feel warmth pulsing through her previously cold hand. Back at the motel, I lead Sumi to her room, and then return to mine. Sumi asked me to find a way out of here, but I already know the trick to escaping. On the 9th day, a man and a woman can leave Hope Hill Village together. All they have to do is wait for the right moment to leave together with Sumi. I just have to find out if she's really human. Actually, scratch that. She's not really human in the first place. Sumi claims to be a spirit of the earthbound variety, and I was told that Sumi could potentially be a witch, so in the end the real question is Sumi an earthbound spirit or actually a witch? I get up and look at the hand that I held Sumi's hand with earlier. I can still feel remnants of the warmth that had suddenly returned to her previously icy skin. I clench my fist. I'll find evidence that proves Sumi not a witch. There's still work to do. We need to see Hana still. After finishing my morning routine, I head to the restaurant. While eating my meal, I look around the restaurant. I feel the villagers' cold gaze. To them, I'm an important offering, a sacrifice needed to complete this ritual. They will only be satisfied if I die. It's only natural for them to watch me closely. I'll be in trouble if I get caught doing anything suspicious and ruin it all for them. My eyes meet theirs and they quickly turn their heads away. They think I'm completely in the dark and being deceived. That's perfect. It's just the cover I need. I leave the restaurant after finishing my lunch. I can see people leaving the restaurant with me, heading to their homes. It's 1 o'clock. My time to move around without worrying about being seen. Time to explore as per usual. You over there. Oh, it's you again. I'm so surprised I can barely contain a scream. A villager appears to be standing right behind me. What's the matter? The motel owner asked me to tell you something. The motel owner? What is it? The curfew is at the end at 3 o'clock. It will no longer last until the evening. I see. Bye-bye then. The villager finally walks away. So the curfew is cancelled, huh? The curfew is what allowed me to move freely from 1 o'clock till the evening. Without it, I'll no longer be able to investigate uninterrupted. If the villagers catch me moving around suspiciously, it might ruin my whole plan. If it ends at 3 o'clock, damn, that's not long at all. I don't have time. This is my last chance to explore the village. I walk with hasty steps. Well, I'm going to keep going with the abandoned village, obviously. Abandoned house north. I go to abandoned house in the north. It's my last one. God, I hope I get like heaps of kitsune ones, or heaps of, what's the other one? Witch ones. There's a particularly shabby place in the north of the abandoned village. What's bothersome is that there are clearly signs of people having been here recently. This could mean there's evidence here. Okay then, this will be today's investigation site. I see a wooden box. It's very heavy and quite sturdy. Forcing it open seems impossible. Huh? What's this? Something's written here. Never stray. Mammon, fourth prayer. There's something written on the box in small letters. What a weird text. I scratch my head and look below. There's a lock. A combination lock. Wonder what the code is. I look at the lock. This will only work if I know the password. I raise myself up. We'll find it. A large plastic sheet in the corner of the room stands out. What's this? I remove the plastic covering. There's a lot of miscellaneous clutter. I doubt any of this would be helpful. Okay. This one? Paper box stands out. I open the box to see if there's anything useful inside. The book's cover shows a gloomy design. Tracking the witch. Okay, cool. I mean, it's not the evidence one, but I'll take it. I like lore. 2 books on the table. I was hoping for evidence, but it's just a collection of romantic poems. How oddly out of place. I turn away and chuckle. I reach for the paper box. Let's see. Satanism. My favourite magazine. My favourite monthly. I loosen the black cloth. All sorts of books are piled up inside. Most of them not the type I would ever read. Oh man, Maxine. All we're getting is village nonsense. Mammon's prayer. There's something written here. O Almighty Mammon, 7 sins. You rule them all. Watch over us who praise your name. We follow you no matter what. Never shake in our faith. Spread 2 wings. Your 6 horns shine. Through black soil you shall form as one. 7, 2, 6, 1. Let's do it. 7, 2, 6, 1. Oh yeah! Finally, it's successfully unlocked. I throw away the lock and open the box. The book's cover shows a gloomy design. Are you serious? It's not even proper evidence? Oh man. What a bunch of shit. There are books scattered on the floor. Come on, give me something useful. I look at the books. None of them stand out to me, huh? Something stuck between the bookshelves. Oh man, it's just shit again. I look at the letter and take it with me. That's it? I didn't get a single proper book. Fuck. That's all for now. Alright, let's read the village logs, because that's all we got. That sucks, man. Oh, well, maybe we've got enough monster info anyway. I mean, we might. Hey, there's a new witch one. Where did they come from? Oh, Tracking the Witch is one of these ones. I thought Tracking the Witch was village logs. Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, we'll read those shortly. Sorry. Mr. Park, there's something that needs to be said. I was opposed to the idea of letting you run the restaurant, but it was the majority vote. However, I think you've crossed the line now. Yes, the meals are delicious. Yes, we all know you're not actually cooking them yourselves. So what in our Mammon's name made you raise the prices? Do not get the facts twisted. You are one of us, not an actual restaurant owner. If you keep causing friction with such uncommunal actions, you may very well face formal expulsion. Don't forget what our purpose is and why this town exists. Yikes. Don't piss off the Satanists, dumbass. Mammon and the sin of greed. Mr. Allen's research shows that Mammon is the only ruler of sin to retain his original position. Whether Mammon enjoys his position is another question entirely. But his ability to maintain it indefinitely speaks volumes about his power. In Catholic terms, greed means always wanting more, never sharing. Those affected are scared of others, while at the same time looking down on them. To satisfy their greed, humans will regard others as nothing more than tools, to be used and discarded. Derek insists that things have largely remained the same over the ages, with Mammon's strict rule always felt. We often tell ourselves that our morality as humans is superior to how it used to be, but the truth is that the world is becoming a harsher place every day, and we keep demanding more of life. It's easy to lie to ourselves and trample on our past in order to justify this never-ending greed. Indeed. About monsters. Parasitism. We haven't learned about parasitism yet. Maybe that's what witches do. Parasitism. Worms, bugs, nasty creepy crawlies. Yuck. I think it's safe to say we hate them all. My apologies to the terrarium owners out there. All 2 of you. But seriously, those things look so nasty, right? These creatures can inject poison, spread disease, and gnaw away at your flesh unnoticed. It's a monster type with lots of variety. And you don't want to meet any of them. Their disgusting appearance is just the cherry on top. Humans under the influence reportedly see worms crawling out of every orifice. These hallucinations can turn into sick reality, causing swelling and festering wounds. Puke bucket material, no? A perfect example for a monster of this parasitic type is the Tsuchigumo. Sounds unfamiliar to our readers. It is an old spider demon from Japanese folklore, and a perfect representative for this monster type. If you're scared of nasty little critters, you're on the safe side. You never know if the next little bite could lead to a big tragedy. Cool. Alright, do monster info. We're going to read which one because it's number 1. But we won't read the other one. While many people still remember the political power scandal that happened in South Korea, few may remember the fact that people were actually killed. This is the story of the witch's deeds within the Blue House. A story now famous as an urban legend, as well as a true story of tragedy that I experienced myself. In memory of my love, Hyun Chul Shin and Hyun Yong Yi, forever remembered. When I was assigned a position in the Blue House, I was very surprised. Even with my parents crying tears of joy for me, I simply couldn't quite believe it was real. Everything seemed like a dream to me. It was when I entered the Blue House that I finally realized it was all real. I was intimidated by the grand halls, moved by its majestic appearance, but also scared because the rumors made its rounds. I felt like a student again, nervously standing in front of a class for the first time. There were rumors that a mysterious mental illness befell many who were associated with the Blue House. They became paranoid, as if deceived. Those afflicted were allegedly often sent away on assignments abroad. Their departments would not share information and treat them as missing. Under the guise of sending someone on a confidential assignment, you could easily cover up someone's disappearance. I soon stopped worrying about the conspiracy theory. I was simply too busy with work. At that time, I was lucky to have a good friend in Hyun-Chul Shin. He worked in the same department as me and was always cracking jokes, helping me out with any issues I have. I was a new, nervous female hire, and he was always there to help me, always introducing me to people, and we soon became pretty inseparable. I confessed my love to him, feeling like a K-drama heroine. I did not want rumors circling about the new hire already being in a relationship, and the fact that we kept it secret only served to make us grow closer faster. But tragedy struck unannounced without warning. I could see something was wrong just looking at his face. At first, he seemed just to be a bit tired, but after a couple of days he started acting strangely. His appearance had me scared and worried. I recalled the unsettling rumors I had heard before starting my job at the Blue House. Hyun-Chul's behavior was eerily similar to these described in the rumors. The symptoms grew increasingly worse, and one day he kept writing the word witch on all his documents over and over in a delirious state. That day, Hyun-Chul was forced to leave work early. 3 days later, we were informed that he was sent on an important job abroad. That rumor I'd heard. What if what I'd heard was actually the truth? I spent days waiting for Hyun-Chul, with worry eating away at my heart. A week later, Hyun-Chul was found here in Korea, dead. A monster of deception. We won't read this one, but location, forest for the witch. That's a lot of witch info now. Good. That'll let me nail down at least if we have a problem with Sumi or not. Yeah. Alright, let's move. I took too long. I should go before the villagers find out. Hopefully we can see Hana now. I take a look at what I've gathered so far on my phone. 2 pieces of monster info as well as 3 village logs. Okay, I should give this a careful read. Oh, I just did. Having searched around, I returned to Hope Hill Village. Villagers are out and about, wandering the streets. That's never been the case at this hour before. The motel owner must have told me the truth. There's no longer a curfew in place that I could use to safely search around. That wasn't the motel owner. That was that weird, creepy guy. Oh, what's the hurry? I've never seen you in such a rush before, at least not until the evening. Does he think this is funny? I'm absolutely certain that he knows a lot more, and he's not planning on telling me any of it. Is he playing dumb with me? Ignore it. I move past the motel owner and head to my room without answering. How cold. I ignore the motel owner's mocking grunts. I'm back in my room. Now's usually the time to search around. However, it's dangerous to act right now. If I wander around and arouse suspicion, it's all over. Damn it. I take another look at all the evidence I've gathered so far. Fortunately, there's a lot of useful evidence here. Maybe even enough to help me uncover the real human's true identity. In that case, maybe I should focus on that instead of doing anything that could make people suspicious of me. For example, I could meet the one who is likely to be the real human in order to establish a perfect level of trust. Good. That's that. I stand up again. Since there's quite a bit of time, I think I should be able to meet with 2 of them. First, I should meet with the one that comes to mind right now. Hana. So close. They're both so close. It looks like I've only got 4 more meetings. So 2 for each. I should go see Hana. Hana mentioned a church located deeper in the woods bordering the village. That's where the administration that runs things around here supposedly has its office. I don't know what awaits me there, but I feel like it's something of great where something of great importance has been kept. The area surrounding the church is awfully quiet. I hide between the trees and tall grass and carefully observe my surroundings. I can't see a single person nearby. Quiet as a mouse, I make my way inside the church. The inside is just as quiet as the outside. The eerie silence makes me perceive my own footsteps as way too loud. I pause for a moment and look around. The echo of my footsteps slowly dies and silence returns once more. I sigh and resume walking forward. It's a fairly small church, so its structure is quite simple. Each room has its own door plate, making it easy to navigate. After passing by a so-called indoctrination room, as well as a confession room. I arrive at a door. I don't want to be in any place that has an indoctrination room. That's fucked. The door plate reads Administrative Office. I look at it for a moment, thinking things through one more time. Then I push open the door. Alright, there's nobody around right now, but that could change in an instant. I have a quick look around, then I'm out of here. Let's take a look around. There's a prayer written on the paper. That's of no use to me right now. I look at the piled up papers. Unfortunately, most of them are just blank pages. We're just gonna get nothing again. A book, a calendar, tissues. There's a variety of random objects on the desk. I check everything, but there's no useful info to be found. There's a whiteboard with the administration's schedule on it. According to this, administration subordinates are currently in Hopewell Village. Alright, one quick look, then I'm out of here. I take a look at the bookshelf to the left. None of the information I'm looking for is there. I step back. I check the bookshelf to the right. There's a file folder stuck out in there that stands out. I pull it out and take a closer look. Heretic Interrogation Report. This unsettling title catches my eye. I take a closer look at the file folder. Heresy to Interrogation Report. Administrator, J. Jin Park, Director of the Heresy Interrogation Office. Interrogator, Sung Hyun Kwon. Overseer, Hyuk Jin Yu. We've managed to detain 8 heretics who have attempted to escape. The man named Sung Jin Kim confessed to being an investigator. Dissatisfied with not having been told about the ritual beforehand, he formulated the plan. Myung-Soo Chae was complicit and actively encouraged this heretic behavior. The two of them managed to convince the other young believers in the village to follow along. This includes Song-woo Cho, Chol Min Lee, Seok Kwan Song, Miho Kim, Tae-hoon Hyun, and Shin-ae Lee. Their escape attempt was thwarted on October 3rd. Their blasphemous sins are severe, having been committed at the most critical period ahead of Mammon's resurrection. However, it's recognised this irrational act of impatience stems from psychological fear. Considering their youth, redemption is still seen as viable. Therefore, the Heresy Interrogation Office deems their souls worthy of being cleansed through removal of their limbs and burning of their physical bodies. Cool! As soon as the current ritual is finished, a salvation ceremony is to be held for those stray souls. The administration emphasises once more that the order is to be upheld at all times. Cutting off limbs? Burning bodies? I knew from the beginning this religion was batshit crazy. However, it's never been so clearly obvious before, seeing as they're violently butchering people while genuinely considering the whole thing an act of forgiveness. Also, there's another reveal here that's just as shocking. What was the name of that missing man again? His name was Sung Hyun Kwon. Interrogator Sung Hyun Kwon. The name of the man Hana's been looking for all this time is in this report. And he's an interrogator. Dear God, I can't imagine how Hana will react to this. I sigh and take a look at one more sheet. The second document contains administrative information about this Heresy Interrogation Office. There's no need for me to look at any of this. Stuff like their electric bill doesn't concern me. However, the address written on there is definitely something that'll prove useful. I take out my phone and snap a picture of both the interrogation report as well as the address. I fold the files and carefully put them back where I found them. I take a look at the whole office. I was really careful not to leave any traces, so nobody should be able to tell I was ever here. As I turn around, I realize all of that was merely naive, wishful thinking. Oh shit! I scream and fall backwards, slowly phasing through the wall. There's this sinister hooded entity again. Where on earth did it come from? Gliding through the office walls, it approaches me. I quickly get up. Tentacles made of fog spew from underneath its robe. I'm still clueless as to what this thing actually is. It's like a Mimikyu. Then again, I don't need to know anything about this thing to realize I should stay the hell away from it. Time to bounce. I dash out of the office as fast as my legs can carry me. My previous careful and quiet approach is out the window now. I run toward the church's main entrance at full speed. Crap! One of those priest robe wearing things appears next to me. The sudden shock makes me lose my balance and I fall. No. Damn it, if I don't get up right now, this will be where I die. Fortunately for me, it's moving pretty slowly. If I can get past it, I should be able to outrun it and get out of here. I have to hurry before the whole church is covered in fog. Here goes nothing. I jump over the fog that's spreading underneath me. Unable to control my own speed, I run and tumble outside, rolling through the church's main entrance. I keep running and running and running. My vision is blurry, and I arrive back at Hope Hill Village with barely any air left in my lungs. I look behind me. Looks like none of those things managed to follow me. I lean against the wall of a nearby building and try to catch my breath. Jeez. I take a look at myself with my phone's front camera. I'm a total mess. If anyone sees me walking around like this, they'll suspect something immediately. I brush the dirt and dry leaves off my clothes and wipe the cold sweat from my forehead. My legs are still shaking. I put my hands in my pockets and walk toward the motel while trying to look as casual and inconspicuous as possible. I'll be fine as long as I act like nothing happened. And with that, we're going to wrap this episode up here. Because we're out of time for today, but I can't imagine we got many episodes left before we either figure out who it is and win, or don't figure out who it is and be sacrificed. That'll kind of depend on what happens when the next murder happens, which will probably happen tomorrow morning. Which, that'll be the deciding factor. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.